recover at ground level. Oh, big crunch. Laid on him by the Bales. Releases Richardson turns. He's right on 50 on the boundary.
Welcome to another edition of From the Fox Footy Vault, where we take a trip down memory lane and relive the golden years of football. This time around, we're returning to season 1977 to take a look at what turned out to be a very exciting race for the finals. After 15 rounds of football, the VFL ladder looked like this. The previous year's Wooden Spooners Collingwood, under new coach Tom Hafey, had burst 2 games clear, would you believe, to have a strong grip on the minor premiership. Reigning premiers Hawthorn had a half-game advantage over the Tigers, whilst my Kangaroos and Carlton rounded at the top 5. The Blues held a handy 6-point break over South Melbourne in 6th, whilst at the tail end of the ladder, St Kilda, Melbourne and Fitzroy were all battling to avoid the wooden spoon. The race for the 1977 finals was delicately poised. So let's check out some of the highlights from round 16.
The D's were right in the middle of the race to avoid the wooden spoon. Equal bottom with Fitzroy on 3 wins apiece. And the job wasn't getting easier, an appointment with the third-place Tigers in round 16.
Edwards. Rambo tackles him, but Edwards gets the kick to half forward. Neville Roberts.
And away go Richmond. Not a good kick by Edwards, pretty high, but Cloak very high. Sullivan to half forward. At the back, McGee.
Can't kick right foot.
Bartlett. 30 metres in the clear, Bartlett.
Bingo.
And caught from behind. Rains running onto it. Taps it upfield. Intercepted Sullivan, and now Fowler. Brewer in the glue pot. Hooked it back. Carroll, Coles at centre half forward. Wells, 40 metres out. Another handball. Davis, 20 metres out. And he goes. Up towards half forward for Richmond. Wingate fights hard for it. And now Sullivan. Carroll. Infield to McKellar. And the handball out wide to Robert Flower. Chance now for Melbourne. In the goal square. Goal by Norsworthy. Edwards in front. Bartlett. Wide open for Richmond now. Bartlett's kicked the full forward. Hurd's there. Bob Hurd. He could really show up in the statistics if he stays down there. Half back. Marchant. Just inside the line. Brewer. Wells inside. Centre wing. Half forward now.
Carroll.
And Dullard, who's come out of defence, marks at centre half forward. Davis. Out in the pocket. Pretty indirect by Davis, but Norsworthy takes the mark.
Baker for Melbourne. Melbourne have got this one parcelled up. They're just playing around with it. Wells. Sullivan.
One of Melbourne's best performances under coach Bobby Skilton saw them come from 16 points down at the final change to slam on 6 unanswered goals and walk away with a vital 19-point win to once again kick themselves a game clear of the Lions.
Brilliant possession. Brewer goes for goal. He's dobbed it. And Melbourne is in front.
Real chance now for North Melbourne to score. The ball only about 30 metres out from their goal. Torbett got
Richmond's stumble opened the door for the Kangaroos to move back up in a third spot if they could account for Essendon at Windy Hill. The Dons determined to snap a 3-game losing streak against the Northerners.
Ick taking front position is good play. Hand pass back to Casson. Back to Nettlefold. Nettlefold revels in these conditions. Lovely pass to Tanner going by again. Tanner with the chance for his second goal is a long one, a great goal.
Newcomer for North having trouble, doesn't know where to go at all, but Schimmelbusch did, gave it to Wick running through, and North Melbourne look good at the moment. A strong lead and a long lead by Crosswell. He ran 60, 70 metres into market on the half-forward flank, then immediately shoots it straight back to his position. There's a They're a man short there, but luckily for them, it's Brighters. Barry Watson gets a shove in the back as Ken Fletcher runs away with the ball. Good kick from Fletcher. That's a useful kick. Now, close.
This is Stephen Ick with the football to kick it back into play. Essendon leading by 14 points into the time-on period second quarter. Van der Haar in front. Free kick to Van der Haar. The Essendon man is getting in front at centre-half forward, and Blight is now his opponent. And Blight, instead of taking front position, is letting the youngster in. Van der Haar almost within kicking distance. There's the kick. It's on its way. It's a goal! Right on the siren. A great goal by Van der Haar. North Melbourne have to score goals in this quarter. They have last use of the breeze, Essendon. There's Boyd again out-marking Schimmelbusch. And that's 3 good marks to Colin Boyd against Schimmelbusch in this term.
A lot of North Melbourne players down on form, David. You can pick it. Schimmelbusch is one of them. No, he went well last week, but Ick's another. Oh, next throw. Flew up there like a bird. Roy Ramsey.
It was all Essendon after quarter time. North blowing the chance to seize third spot as the Dons ran away to an impressive 39-point win. Robin Close, the star, with a career-best 7 goals straight as the home side kept their faint finals hopes alive.
High-fired Robin Close. Free kick.
The opportunity to grab third now passed to Carlton, who faced the Swans at the Lake Oval in an enormous game for both sides, with South a chance to make another run at the top 5.
And that's exactly what he's done.
Norm Goss. Across the face of goal, Teasdale in there, Jones. Big punch by Canfield. Here's Ashman soccering, coming up to meet an Armstrong. Armstrong has Byrne going past that beautiful play on football. Byrne looking for the lead from Walls. Walls in the front berth, skids, uses his body well. Rantel recovers well and is shoved over the line by Buckley. Nice.
Carlton should have been more direct on that occasion. Looks like Morrison across to O'Neill. Looking for Young. Allowed Jackson to go through. Up towards Round. Punched away by Jones. Goss. Quaid.
A thrilling finish at the Lake Oval, with the Blues led by star Alex Jezelenko adding 4 goals to 1 in the final term to score a crucial come-from-behind 9-point win and leapfrog Richmond and North into third spot.
Beautiful. Completely outpointed him so far. Walls. Right forward pocket. Squares it towards Jezelenko.
Yes! Oh, that's an old-timer. I reckon he turned the clock back a couple of years for that one, Peter.
Sends it back to full forward.
Round 17 of 1977 was highlighted by 2 massive games in the race for September. The third-place Blues hosted league leaders Collingwood at Princes Park, and more than 38,000 fans packed it to the rafters.
Long kick by Thompson. Dunn's there and Carmen. Kekovic over the top. Max Richardson. Goal!
That is one hell of a goal.
Mackay, where were you? And Walls for that matter. Punch forward by Pennell. Overrun by Pickett. Carmen to Max Richardson. Tunnel ball. Towns. Well played, Greg Towns. Pennell to half forward. All Collingwood. Robert Hyde. Mackay, the tackler. Centre of the ground. Magro. Great volley by Percy Jones. It's carried 60 metres. McClure. Nobody in the goal square. Has it got the distance? He needed a leg break.
Carlton puffing. 15 points behind. Oh, there's a good mark by Barham. Says he'll kick it long. He's on the centre wing. Dead centre wing. 12th kick. Doesn't kick it very long. That hurt. Weirmouth under that pack. I'm more interested in Kekovic, who's writhing in pain as he fell very heavily. Look at him.
Upfield, Thompson. Now Manasseh. Half forward, Carmen with Southby.
Oh, great catch.
The Magpies once again silencing the doubters, booting 13 goals to 7 after quarter time to score an emphatic 32-point win and go one step closer to an incredible turnaround from wooden spooners to minor premiers.
Speedy after the ball, as is Alves. That'll be
The second blockbuster of the afternoon was at Arden Street as the 4th place Tigers met the 5th place Kangaroos. The winner could move back up into the top 3, while the loser would be under pressure to hold their spot in the 5.
Getting up and saying, how about a free kick up? I had nothing to do with that at all, he's saying. Absolutely nothing.
This is Tanner. He's off. Centre half forward Sutton. Roberts tries to take it out of the air. Cable straight up in the air it is. Keenan gets it back to Carter. Carter across goals towards Dench and Edwards, both fighting for it, but Hector back up again as he's done so many times today. Down to the centre wing position, Jarrett, a nice mark. It's got Melrose clear in the centre. Melrose on to Alves. Alves down to Bridus. Bridus to straighten up and shoot for goal, which he does and misses. Jarrett to Casson. Looking for Melrose again and finding him.
Monteith. Across the half-back line to Clayton and Alves. Alves has been a dominant player today. Clayton, good mark. Monteith stolen from him.
North appeared to have the game wrapped up, holding a 4-goal lead at the final change. But the Tigers were finishing with a strong win behind them. They stormed home with 5 goals to 2, but it was the Roos just hanging on for a thrilling 3-point win.
Russell Green.
Round 18, 1977, saw the race for the final 5 really start to heat up. 6th place South Melbourne were knocking on the door of the top 5 and had the chance to sneak in as they hosted the struggling Saints at the Lake Oval.
Smothers nicely. Fortunately for South, it rebounds to Gary Bryce. To centre half forward, Barry Round. Almost took the mark. Seems to have a little bit too much height for Barry Breen. Round it was. Getting it inland towards Zantuck. And now to Peter Morrison. Chance for South Melbourne's 4th. And he hasn't missed. Straight through for Breen. St Kilda not gaining a lot of distance. Good team play by Kevin Neal. Bad kick, though, to Barker. Barker, too much pace that time for Quaid. And back to Neal. Into the pocket. Looking for George Young, and what a clever mark.
Plays well. Great football, Colin Hounsell to Barry Round. And a chance for South Melbourne. Hounsell again. Long kick. Cowboy Neal's there, and a good defensive mark. And at the back, McLeish. Green overruns. In goes South Melbourne again, David Young. Inside of half forward. Goss from behind again. No, didn't get first touch. Danaher's handball blocked. Zantuck pushed in the back. Play on. Browning breaks clear of Barker. Goal square confrontation.
Looking for any leads. Now the high flyers. Dedrich from behind. A magnificent mark. A Rantel for South Melbourne. Through centre to centre half forward. Fly from behind by Teasdale with the man in front, Barry Breen. No, can't be Teasdale's mark. And finds O'Neill. O'Neill wide to Gary Bryce. Lovely direct football by South Melbourne. There's Greg Lambert on as a reserve in place of John Rantel. Centre half forward. Teasdale from behind, but the man in front must be played, and that's Barry Breen.
Just taking, no, he didn't take the mark, Shepherd. Back towards the goal square, Teasdale again.
To Rex Hunt.
The Swans too strong, leading at every change to win by 55 points. But the highlight of the match, clearly this all-time classic specky from the great Trevor Barker.
George Young, snapshot by Young, sneaking through, it's a goal! Great stuff! Barry Round handles the ball beautifully to Lambert. Lambert had a look where he was going, found Zantuck. Zantuck's kick. Oh, Trevor Barker! What a mark! Sensational!
Carroll has a leading Wells. Pennell will arrive on the scene.
Meanwhile, at Waverley, the 3rd place Carlton had the chance to consolidate their spot inside the 5 as they hosted the 10th place Demons.
And umpire Jones awards himself a free kick. Over to Southby, and away go Carlton around that outer side to Buckley. A suspicious-looking hand pass to Pennell. Pennell decides he'll have a gallop and looks in there for Canfield. Canfield scoops out of the mud to Jesselenko. Jesselenko tries to get it back and does. On to Sheldon. Sheldon straightens up and shoots. In comes Armstrong. Armstrong barrels away. and it's another goal.
Whoops. Marchant drives Melbourne into attack to Fitzsimmons. Good mark.
Carlton out of trouble again. Whitnell to Young. Now they can go. He's got Keogh clear, and we'll find him. And Keogh's got a paddock, and knowing how he loves to run. He hooks it back into the centre, looking for McKenna. McKenna and Aspen there. Oh, beautifully done, McKenna. Well handballed too. Keogh straightens up, fires for goal, and puts it through.
Norsworthy
Got an attack of the fumbles.
Armstrong. McKenna says to the pocket. Armstrong goes to the pocket. Lo and behold, Shane Bradley. A bit of aggro there as it's picked up by Young. He goes into the pocket again over McKenna's head, looking for Canfield. Behind it, Sheldon, another goal coming up.
Buckley puts him under the hammer a little bit, and Buckley comes across towards the Jesselenko-Sullivan direction.
The Blues, with stars such as Jesselenko, Dool and former Collingwood champion Peter McKenna, too good, running out comfortable 67-point winners.
Canfield shepherds Keogh. Keogh hooks back to Sheldon. And Sheldon will mark and go on. Sheldon will run into a goal. Bounces, kicks a goal. He's third.
He's hurt.
Robinson's the umpire. Look at
Round 19, 1977, saw the informed South Melbourne head to Waverley to face reigning premiers Hawthorn, needing a win to keep their finals hopes alive.
Dempster punched away by Halloran. Hoffman the crumbs to Morrison. Danaher, too slow. Beset upon. There'll be a ball up, I think. No, play on the call. Back to Danaher again. Lines up at centre half forward. No mark, or is it? Umpire die. Teasdale, who to? Dean. Oh, look at Scott go through like an army tank. Gets a bit of treatment too. In fact, there's a bit of treatment being handed out. Dean and Scott. Tuck and Young.
dropped the sitter there. And Browning had second thoughts and he's lost control of it. And look at Matthews go. Geez, tough and keen. And hit the post. He picks it up though for Hawthorn, drives him into attack, looking for Hudson in front of his man again. Oh, good play. Surely he must kick this one. Although you never know. It's the old-fashioned Hudson shuffle, drives it, and that's his first goal in the game. This is Kevin Ablett with Zantuck right on his hammer. Back to the goal square again. Hudson's in the middle, got a finger to it, breaks away. Pussyfoot's around the pack, and the kick rebounds from the pack and it's taken by John Rantell. The Cross to Quote has been winning the hard ball. Now on to Zantuck on the wing. There's no one in front of him except a couple of his teammates. David Young's there. Right into centre half forward now. Dean had it thumped away from him. There's Young with it now. He's an exciting player. He's on top of his form today. Drives for goal. It's a good-looking kick.
Superb ball control around the member side wing. Hendry, will be a hand pass to him. On to Lee Matthews. And he'll run in. Oh! I was going to say he's going to run in, kick a goal. Left it too long, and he's missed it.
Teasdale, he should have taken that one. Left quickly to Hounsell, their 19th man, landing in the arms of Zantuck. A quick look and plenty of pace. And South's handball's been very effective, to say the least. Morrison takes it with a long kick down towards Dempster. He tapped it away down towards Hoffman, who kicked a great one early in this quarter. Maybe it's his second. It is, and South Melbourne are back in front for the third quarter. It's Barry Rawlings, who hasn't done a great deal today. Gets that kick, a daisy cutter into centre. What a smashing mark!
Not even a few last-ditch acrobatics from the inimitable Don Scott, enough to inspire the Hawks. South Melbourne scoring an upset 25-point win to move into the top 5 at the expense of Richmond.
So is his opponent Hendry down towards the centre. Knights dropped it. 25 was round. This is 14. It's David Young, and look at him go. A half-forward line. Another score coming up for South. It's a goal.
103 South Melbourne, Hawthorn 77. We've played 1 minute and 10 seconds of time on here at VFL Park before a crowd of over 31,000 people. Well, there's nothing much left in the game for Hawthorn, Scotty, so you might as well do something, son.
St Kilda a chance now. Loft
Hawthorn's loss now gave the Magpies the chance to kick 2 games clear on top as they travelled to Moorabbin to face the struggling Saints, who were looking to snap a 4-game losing streak.
Weirmouth, centre wing. Green closes the gap. Weirmouth kicks. Forward pocket. Kekovic is there with Barker. And Barker again read it better.
As Gary Lofts free in the pocket to Robert Elliott. 2 against 1. Long pass finds Lofts. Direct shot at goal. Now he's gone for the short pass to Young. It's Cavalier beyond centre-half forward. St Kilda players wanted. On the ground. Lofts, shot on goal. Coming in about 5 metres out. Young, defending desperately. It could be a goal. It's a goal. Nasser on half-back flank finds Rene Kink at centre-half forward. Lovely kick. Carmen. Not paid. It was off hands of Rene Kink. Carmen loses possession at centre-half forward. Whoa, a bad tackle. Carmen threads the hand pass to Atkinson. Now Weirmouth. Back to Carmen. Clever play. On to Anderson. Kink coming through. St Kilda in under pressure. Back to Anderson. Shot on goal. Is offline. Kicking into the centre. Kekovic.
Collingwood in control, leading by as much as 47 points at the final change, before cruising home with a 26-point win to take a stranglehold on the 1977 minor premiership.
The hand pass. Going past is Gordon. First goal to Collingwood.
Thompson with Scott again.
Hawthorn's minor premiership hopes rested on a trip to a packed Victoria Park to face Collingwood in a round 20 top-of-the-table clash. A win would bring the Hawks back within a game of the Pies, while a loss would give Collingwood a 2-game break at the top with 2 left to play.
High kick to centre-half forward. His 5th kick for the game, Martello. At the back, Hendry. Snap for goal. Yes.
Nice. To centre-half forward. Hudson in front of the pack, but the punch goes back to Matthews. Lovely shepherding allows Matthews straight in for goal number 3 for Hawthorn.
And not a mark between them. Almost halfway through the second quarter. Centre-half forward, Thompson's back there again, and Hudson from behind. Great mark, Peter Hudson. He plays on quickly, down towards the goal square. Well played, Barry Rawlings. Snap for goal, another Hawthorn goal.
Not a really good pass. Rice out wide towards Payton. Behind us, Cooper, judging it far better. Payton looks a little bit like a fish out of water. Manasseh, been a grand player, Collingwood's best defender, and there've been plenty of them. Towards half forward, off hands. Kink going into an open goal. Collingwood 7 points up. Henry going past. Henry is free. Past centre wing he goes, up towards the half forward line. Directs it back towards centre half forward. Looking for Hudson, who's behind this time. There's some scouts. There are. There's Payton and there's Rawlings and Payton into the open goal. Hard work, a lot of hand passing. Oh, Wayne Richardson dropped an easy one. Allows Mike Tuck in. Tuck charging up towards centre half forward. Fires for goal. Can Hudson mark it? It's beyond the pack and it's bounced through. A goal. Scott between half-back and centre wing. Curling ball down to Barry Rawlings. Knocks it away from Robert Hyde to John Henry. Back to Rawlings. Rawlings a shot on goal. It'll be a great goal if he can score it. It's coming in. It's a goal. What a beautiful shot by Barry Rawlings.
Well played, David O'Halloran. Centre wing Knights. Eade to centre half forward. Hendry. Rawlings. Caught. Brilliant tackle by Barron. And now Matthews.
The Pies led by 3 points at the final change before the poise and experience of the star-studded Hawks, led by gun forward Peter Hudson and Lee Matthews, got the reigning premiers over the line by a goal to keep their minor premiership hopes alive.
Dewey Trott, who replaced Kevin Ablett in the selected 18. Trott short pass, Matthews.
What a beautiful pass.
Does it well.
Meanwhile, fourth-place Carlton needed to beat the out-of-contention Bombers at Princes Park to ensure they retained their spot in the top 5. The Dons hadn't beaten Carlton at home for 9 years. Could they pull off an upset at the expense of their arch-rival?
The ball going to Robert Walls. Now he's in the centre of the ground with the breeze and he doesn't mess around with that kick. Straight down to McClure. He's broken away from on almost a good mark and then grabbed by Rayburn. 30 metres out and Carlton's run of luck for kicking for goal still there.
Up to half forward, looking for Van der Haar again. Punched away by Heath. Coming through as Primer. He lines up and he's put it through.
Bounce to the centre. This time Crow wins it. Quickly taken away by Mansfield. Across to Van der Haar. Van der Haar with a short kick. Across to Watson. And across the top to, Magnan. He'd be very close to putting his boot. Played some useful football in the back pocket for the Dons this season. He brings it out towards McDonald, number 43. But he threw from the back. Jez has got it. Brings it across towards Walls. He didn't get it either. Buckley running through there. Here's Mantles having a go. He wings round, lines it up, shoots for goal, and he's put it through. Eston trailing 49-58, and that's a bad kick. Dropping in the goal square, off the hands, Madden, straight through. Marsh landed right on his lap. Across to Roberts. Plenty of power in this kick and get it right up towards the goal square to Crow. Oh, beauty!
The Blues increasing their lead at every change to ultimately run out 35-point winners.
Beautiful kick to the forward pocket. Tore it up high, but who's that? He's grabbed it. It's Serafini.
Well, if that was a bad pass from O'Neill, that was an equally bad one from Stoneham.
The fifth-place Swans had to beat Footscray at the Western Oval to retain their spot in the top 5. A loss would see the Tigers leapfrog back over South with just 2 rounds left to play.
And Hoffman elects to mark and take the pot shot.
Jim Edmonds' kick is not a long one. Teasdale in great position. O'Neill comes thumping into him. Great hand pass McLeish to Jackson.
Teasdale on the ground.
What a big kick of Jackson's. Dempsey, beautiful judgment. Beautiful judgment against his old teammate, Barry Round.
Barry Bryson goes straight up the centre of the ground. He does so to centre-half forward. There's Teasdale and Dempsey again to Quaid, but Teasdale will take a free kick for pushing the back. Could just about kick it from here. Drives it up into the goal square. It's screwing back up there. It's over players' heads. And a goal. O'Neill to kick off again. Round calling for it. And Round should mark it. Oh, been a plum pudding. He'd have been picking raisins off his face for the next month. To Witten, who was a good player in the first quarter. Gets clear and hooks back, and a goal and goals. His second.
Angle. Not the good Dean kick. He's looking for the leap of Dempster. Oh, Round. Beautifully done. Hand passes across to Jackson. Jackson slips, recovers. Back where Teasdale and Dempsey. Dempsey almost took that one. Teasdale, lucky bounce favours him. Barry Round rushes past Power, across to Hoffman. Hoffman can run in about 20 or 30 yards and then give it to Dempster. Dempster says, thank you, my goal. Bang. Well played, South Melbourne.
Then here's the hand pass on to Collins. Collins bobbles it. He'll get out of it though, or will he? Yes, he does. And then recovers with dash. He's got Hoffman after him and he's caught. He goes clear again. Looking for Dunstan and finds Ted Witt. Still in South's attacking or offensive zone. At left half forward for them. Dempsey from the back, Round from the front to Browning.
The Swans too strong, pulling away in the final term to register a 23-point win and hang on to 5th spot by just over a single percentage point from the Tigers with 2 games remaining.
There's not many kick longer than that. Look at Gary Bryce. I think he's quite happy about that one.
The long hand pass to Rantel. He's got 2 players clear here, one of whom's Morrison, who will mark. Morrison has Bryce free. And centres the ball. Robert Dean gets the body in nicely again. Oh, magnificent mark.
Takes the kick on the half-back flank.
Richmond now faced a critical clash with the 4th-place Carlton at the MCG in round 21. A win could see the Tigers jump from 6th to 4th, while a loss could just about end their finals dream.
Picked up by Young. The long kick quickly going to goal. Put the brakes on. Robert Wall shepherded through, and it's Carlton's first goal. 40 metres out. There's his kick. Oh, and a great grab there on the goal line by David Mackay. Between the centre and centre-half forward position, he goes for a beautiful shot across the wing there towards Woods. Wood, who's swung across wings then, and he goes after Bruce Bill. Well played, Bill. In towards the centre, but Francis Burke, the custodian, the captain of the back line, drives him into attack once more, and Mackay is taken to get another mark.
A thrilling final term saw the Tigers prevail and take Carlton's 4th spot with a 3-point win. The Blues falling to 5th, while South's loss to Collingwood saw them crash out of the top 5 altogether.
Wood
McClure, Sheldon, he'll go for goal, lines up from a long way out and has put it through. Sheldon making position at centre-half forward beautifully. Out to Armstrong, lines up from 55 metres out from goal and has put Carlton in front.
Jones, easily, no one with him. Roberts for Richmond, boots him into attack. Desperate mark, great mark, Jim Jess. Changes direction, has a look. The only bloke to go to was Mervyn Kane, the back pocket player who marked only metres away. Then he goes through the centre. Richmond mixing the play of a bit long kicks, handball, short kicks. Kick there by Francis Burke to put them into attack. And the shot out of the pack. Roberts, and he's done it again.
On half-back flank.
Hawthorn needed to account for the 10th place Demons to keep their slim minor premiership hopes alive. The D's looking to break a 7-game losing streak at Princes Park.
Balloons it up in the air. It's a one-on-one here, and Hudson does it. Flower, he'll get rid of it in time, which he does. Looking across the centre-half forward position, in comes Hardiman and takes another spectacular mark. His fourth. Does the ball trick. Boots it up into the goal square towards McKellar and Moncrief. McKellar! Martello wins the bounce. Hardiman knocks it in the direction of Flower, who's caught. Steele picks it up nicely. Barges his way clear, looking for Payton. Payton will score a goal here if he's straight, and he is. Byrne. Rolling, shoved off the ball. Hardiman, that suspicious-looking punch over there. Wells racing to Campbell, straightens up and shoots for goal, and puts it through. Good football. Reasonable initiation into ruck play today. Scott at the back. Aussie, Byrne, and here's Moore. He'll be shepherded by Moncrief. Kicks up in the trot direction, and Tom Flower, and a nice mark, going the same way as the ball.
And despite a spirited final term comeback from the D's, it was Hawthorn hanging on for a vital 11-point win to officially secure the double chance and keep their faint minor premiership hopes alive.
He goes for the run and shoots for goal and puts it through.
His second.
So much was happening. I won't do any guesstimates. The umpire was close.
And so it all came down to round 22 in 1977, with all 5 finals berths still up for grabs. The only team capable of breaking into the top 5 were the 6th-place Swans. They had to beat the 3rd-place Kangaroos at Arden Street to have any chance of sneaking into September.
For North Melbourne with this wind.
No, it's not. As Round gets up in front of Croswell. Picked up by Round, and by the roar, it was close. It was through.
He's looking for Nolan. Round appearing on the scene in front and marks. It's got to be a front man mark, that one. And that was well intercepted by Barry Round. Let's see what he can do this time. Certainly still within kicking distance. But it's not going to make the scene. Oh, Gumbleton, a beauty! Back to Hoffman. Hoffman has Browning free. Browning has Bryce overlapping and decides to kick. Oh, lovely mark by Danaher. Lovely mark by Danaher. The throw in North's attacking zone. Bridus going in for North Melbourne. Slips it over his head, but it's Rantel who'll recover. Umpire Della in a perfect position to mark, which he can't do. It claims it beautifully. Barrels it back into the goal square. Up there was Baker to Davis. Down he goes. A goal. A high tackle after his that tricked the goal. Comes back looking for Blight. Blight and Ick, and that was good football, Malcolm Blight, to let Stephen Ick go past because he had the run of the ball. Baker and Scarlett again. Oh, a magnificent mark. A one-hander by John Scarlett. Gumbalin over in the Blight direction. Casson in there. Blight can't pick it up, but he knocks it nicely to Schimmelbusch. Schimmelbusch with the Baker from behind.
The Swans storming home with a sensational final term comeback. 6 goals to 1, giving them a thrilling 10-point win and keeping their finals dream alive.
And Dempster's a long way out, but the breeze behind him, a really good one, could easily make the distance.
Hold it up, says everybody. Hold it up.
Graham Dempster, who's kicked very accurately. Long, straight kick. South Melbourne have hit the front.
And now Southby.
South now needed Carlton to falter against the 7th place Bulldogs at the Western Oval. A win to the Doggies would see the Blues crash out of the final 5 after sitting comfortably in 3rd just 4 weeks earlier.
3 scoring shots for 8 points. Dempsey in front, Mackay the ride from behind. Beautiful Mark Mackay.
Oh, good handball, Southby. Long kick to centre half forward. McClure's there. Wow, nearly a great mark.
Knocked away from Whitten. Clear to Byrne. Handles it well. On to Buckley. Buckley through the centre. Now looking for Jesselenko, who led well. Flies the mark to Jesselenko.
Quinlan's kick, a boomer, inside half forward. Reed's there, hasn't had a touch yet. Austin tackled high, but play on, snapped out of the pack, is a goal.
Looking for McClure. McClure edges, oh, that's a great mark. Beautiful mark by McClure.
Oh, bad kick by Huppets. Stoneham. Dunstan. Long high kick by Dunstan is coming back. Is a goal.
Ray Byrne, the fly from behind, but in front, standing his ground well, was Dunstan, who's been a star. Ruck-roving star for Footscray. Up towards the goal front. Munro again, great position.
8 minutes gone in the final term.
Heartbreak for the Blues as Footscray ended their season with a gutsy 18-point win. But elation for South as they sneaked into 5th spot at Carlton's expense.
Straightens inside half forward. Hampshire's down there with Reed. Off hands to Huppets. A goal will nearly clinch it for Footscray. In the goal square, Munro.
Trip. Bippen. That's not a bad goal if it's through. It is.
5 metres out from goal, and look at the way the
At Waverley, the top of the table Magpies needed a win over 11th placed Melbourne to seal the minor premiership and the all-important week's rest.
Right in the arms, the welcome arms, the waiting arms of Bill Picken. Looked like a pretty good pass. It wasn't. Carman again caught, seems slow. Here goes Ray Shaw with Collingwood now. The handball across to Anderson, ducks around the man on the mark. Shaw's just slipped behind him and boots one straight through. Carman with it. He doesn't know what to do with it. He knows what to do with it now as he gives it across to Graham Anderson. Look at him stride past him. He does it so easily. And a backhand handball to Ray Shaw in the pocket. Goal number 3. It's a shin shot there. Clever play by Tom Flower to beat Wayne Gordon. Carman doing his own shepherding. Throws it out. He's running the wrong way, of course. He'll have to give a handball. He won't have to give a handball at all. And this is a bit of the best of Carman. Here he goes. That's good. He fired a pop. Great passage of play. It's Carman's football. Across towards Ireland. A shot for goal by Ireland. It came unstuck.
The Magpies ultimately running out 14-point winners to complete the most remarkable turnaround in football history. Wooden Spooners in 1976. They finished as minor premiers in 1977.
So a thrilling round 22 saw the final home and away ladder look like this for season 1977. Collingwood, under new coach Tom Hafey, completed the most amazing turnaround in league history, going from wooden spooners in 76 to minor premiers in 1977. Not a bad effort, Tommy. The Pies finished 1 game clear of the reigning premiers Hawthorn, with the Kangaroos a further 2 games back in 3rd position. Richmond and South Melbourne rounded at the top 5, the Swans squeezing past Carlton in the final round. At the tail end of the ladder, St Kilda collected the wooden spoon by 1 game from the Demons. The race for the 1977 premiership was wide open, so let's take a look at the highlights from the first couple of weeks of the finals.
Hudson trying to lead from the goal square.
The 1977 final series kicked off with a qualifying final blockbuster between the grand finalists of the previous 2 seasons, Hawthorn and North Melbourne. The Hawks went in as warm favourites, having won 5 of the last 6 clashes, and more than 64,000 fans were at the MCG to see if champion goal kicker Peter Hudson could kick his 100th for the season and cap an incredible comeback after 2 years in Tasmania.
Peter Hudson, a chance for his 100th for the season. Yes! His 5th century in VFL football, and what a wonderful return he's made from Tasmania.
From 50 metres out. It's a wobbly kick. Once more it's dropping short. A mark by Moore, taken by Davis over his head. Going awfully close. Oh, what a freak goal!
Short of the centre of the ground, Rice for Hawthorn and Blight. Blight gets the handball upfield, chopped off by Polkinghorne. Hudson again. This could be a goal. A great goal to Hawthorn by the half-back flanker.
And a lead across the other side of the ground from Kevin Abbott. And there he goes with Alves running past him, but both of them go, hit the turf. A good pick up by Peter Knights, who puffs up there, heads away, boots it right through for goal number 4.
There's Henshaw getting the ball across towards Blight, who sends it across towards the other flank. North Melbourne with a chance. Terry Moore, 35 metres out, pushed as he takes the kick, but it's a goal.
Matthews.
A sensation when injured field umpire Ian Robinson was replaced by reserve Jeff Polides, the same Jeff Polides who would one day go on to become president of Ford.
And Jeff Polides, a reserve umpire, moving on, so I suspect there's some trouble there. There is, of course, with Ian Robinson, is it? Who's leaving the field.
Well, nothing visibly wrong with Ian Robinson. It's a very interesting move, isn't it? We'll know at the end of the game, of course, the reason. But a suspicion of a limp about his walk there.
Knights is there at the back. No mark taken. Terry Moore. Shot for goal. Is close. Oh, Kelvin Moore.
Picked up by O'Halloran, playing a very cool game. Booted towards the wing. Oh, great mark there. Schimmelbusch.
14 points up at half-time, the Hawks exploded in the third term, slamming on 6 goals to 1 to open up a commanding 47-point lead at the final change.
Centres the ball for Matthews, who stumbles and then recovers.
North defence under a lot of pressure. Hawthorn bombarding the goals. Hudson claims it and is paid. Croswell holding his hands, asking for the free kick. O'Halloran over the top to Polkinghorne, going past his Rollings. Back to Moncrief, Rollings. Great chain of football by Hawthorn. Rodney E. Back to centre-half forward, the Hawks in attack.
He won't get it.
Hawthorn, led by stars such as Knights, Matthews and Hudson, far too good in the wet conditions, running out comfortable 38-point winners to set up a second semi-final showdown with the Magpies.
On he goes, Scott. Right up towards the goal square. Hudson again against Dick. Hudson in front.
And that's the kick to Rantel at centre-half back, straight down the centre.
North would progress to face the winner of the elimination final between Richmond and South Melbourne at Waverley. The Tigers had finished 4th under first-year coach Barry Richardson and went in favourites against the Swans, having beaten them in 14 of their last 15 meetings.
If Jackson kicks, he does, only because his opponent fell over. Dean's in there, but in front of the pack, a beautiful mark, Ricky Quaid.
Hoffman in towards half forward. It's all Richmond at this stage. Rains played superbly since quarter time. Lost at that time, though. Kane, a good pick-up. Burke out to Monteith. Almost a rugby formation there. Monteith steadies. Noonan. Looking for Dunn. Neville Roberts backing into the pack. Takes a good mark.
Comes in with a shot for goal from 45 to 50 metres out. It's going a long way. It's drifting across and won't quite get there. Still in play. Scarlett. Rains for Richmond. Comes back into the centre of the ground. Oh, lovely diving mark by Malthouse.
Just kick number 15, I think, to Chris Elliott, which is a good performance for a young player. Down it goes. Underneath it was Burke. Chance for Morrison, who's been another great kick getter. Morrison high on there, did nothing with that one. Brian Woods in position. Good mark.
Finally, Elliott. Oh, and Couture are allowed to run wild. Doesn't he like to run too? Drives it out looking for Noonan and finding him. Noonan quickly on towards goal. Boots it up. Here's Cloak and Danaher again, a one-on-one. Roberts over the shoulder and not there. Cloak again. Jackson it was.
back to the centre of the ground. It's all Richmond, nobody at home except young Jeffrey Rains. 21 year older, boots it downfield. All easily, thank you for Richmond's Roberts. Across it goes to Wood. Wood will shoot for goal. Into the teeth of goal, Cloak from behind.
The ubiquitous Mr. Sheedy, and here's Gary Bryce to take it. Centre wing, the member side of the ground. It's 15 minutes, almost 16 minutes into the final quarter, and Richmond having it pretty well sewn up. And the juggler there, David Cloak.
There's a chance now for Morrison. Across it goes from the throw to Sheedy.
The Tigers, courtesy of a 6-goal-to-1 second half, cruising through to face the Roos in the first semi with a 34-point win.
And in front was Noonan. Chance for Roberts. Roberts turns onto his left foot. Or is it Noonan with his left foot? A beautiful kick, and it's straight through the centre.
Gone in this first quarter, down in front of Keenan, palms it behind.
More than 48,000 fans headed to Waverley for the cutthroat clash between two sides, keen to renew their recent September rivalry, but unable to take their early chances under the finals pressure.
Ton of room here, has a good look. Sees Brightus, finds him beautifully. Here towards Croswell, too far. Cloak. All he can do.
Sheedy and Cloak, but will go in the Wood direction. Sheedy making yards. Now he's got to run and draw the play. He does. A hand pass to Brian Wood. Gets a favourable bounce. Wood down towards Edwards and Cowton. A one-on-one and a beautiful mark. Edwards straight on to Roberts. Roberts straight for goal. And he's popped it through for the first major ball. No, he hasn't. Slightly on the member side of the ground.
An awkward bounce, a bad bounce. Roberts was the man, Gumbleton with it. Out to Bartlett. Bartlett misses an awkward one. Recovers well, slips. Across it goes to Walsh. Walsh to Burke. Burke back to Baum. Baum, magnificent hand pass to Rains. And Rains's kick is offline. Well, an unexpected full-back in Darryl Sutton, who's choosing the grandstand side, where Keenan and Baum will contest. Keenan behind. Across it goes to Alves. Alves been a very good player, some lovely handball. Out to Johnny Byrne. A long hand pass to Blight, an awkward one. Back it goes to Cable. Cable in trouble. Across to Montgomery. He's still in trouble. Gets his kick and boots it down. Here it is, Brightus. A beautiful mark, Brightus.
Keenan and Jess. Down to Bartlett. There's Jarrett. Not a bad goal by Bartlett.
Eventually, the class and experience of the Roos started to take its toll. North Melbourne taking complete control to ultimately run out comfortable 47-point winners, ending Richmond's season.
He's at centre-half forward. Ick. Oh! Great mark, Stephen Ick. Montgomery being retarded. He plays on a mile over the mark. In towards Croswell. Into Brightus. Brightus breaks a tackle. Across to Casson. Casson in towards Davis. And Davis bangs it through.
Throw in the forward pocket. Collingwood into attack.
Meanwhile, at the MCG, almost 87,500 fans were on hand to see the top two teams of the home and away season slug it out for a berth in the 1977 Grand Final. The Hawks went in confident of an upset, having registered a rare win at Victoria Park just 4 weeks earlier, but they would have to overcome the magic of the mercurial Phil Carman.
Hudson's there, and he's a chance at the back for himself. Got tackles. Hudson handball to Hendry. Comes in for his third goal. John Hendry.
5-minute mark, second term. Thompson and Scott clash again. Scott's taken 4 free kicks from Thompson, the centre bouncer so far. There he goes with the ball now. Superb player, wonderful leader, but gave it to the wrong player in Wearmouth for Collingwood. He kicked it down towards the forward pocket to Sherman. That's a good mark. Clever mark to Ray Shaw.
But Manasseh coming right down from the half-back line to take that mark at centre-half forward. Kick falling short. It only goes about 40 metres with the mark taken by Peter Moore. Starting to play a lot better. Lovely kick too. 2 kicks from there to half forward. Collingwood over the top goes Knights. Oh, and down goes Knights at the hands of Max Richardson. Let's Ross Dunn in. Peter Welsh going back. Peter Moore coming up for his third kick. Unselfish hand pass. Barham in the goal square as Anderson. Is it? Oh, it's Ray Shaw. Shaw a goal to Collingwood.
And Kevin Ablett with the free kick into play for Hawthorn. Long kick right towards the goal square. Hudson up there. Mark to Peter Hudson.
across towards a half-forward line for Collingwood. Picked up now by Payton, now playing in the back line. He gives it to Rawlings, who ducks around the man on the mark, puts his foot on the gas. A beautiful pass down to Hendry. He spilt it. Wearmouth pounces in. Played a great Rovers game today. Certainly motivated that Collingwood side all round the ground. To Magro. He waits for Richardson to move into position. Across to Barham now. Barham running down the half-forward line. A short kick to Carman, and Carman moved in nicely to take it. He's kicked the ball further than anyone on the field today, and that's no exception. Look at that one go. Right up towards the half-forward flank to Scott, who punched it away.
Collingwood led by a point at half-time and 5 points at the last change. The Magpies eventually holding on in a thriller by just 2 points to progress through to the 1977 Grand Final.
Barham's kick in front was Carman, no mark. Wearmouth, acute angle, a freak goal by Ron Wearmouth.
A classic second semi-final there. And what an incredible performance from super coach Tom Hafey, who guided the Magpies from wooden spooners the year before to minor premiers and then grand finals all in one season. Surely that's got to be one of the greatest coaching performances of all time. My Kangaroos would turn the tables on the Hawks in the preliminary final to score an upset 67-point win and set up the first Collingwood-North Melbourne grand final in history. And what a game that turned out to be. Well, that's it for this edition of From the Fox Footy Vault. I trust you've enjoyed taking a look back at some of the great action from 1977, a fantastic year of footy. Join us again next time for more fabulous highlights from yesteryear, right here on your home of the classics, Fox Footy.
Can he recover at ground level?